Sorry, my memory runs out a lot. So, anyways, I think I went over enough on the floating ghost. I think you get the point. Yeah, it's what started my Halloween interest and all that stuff. But I want to talk about some of the other Halloween stuff that, um, for instance, the life sizes that were made back then. I mean, everyone likes talking about the old life size props because they were just cool. Um, well, that kind of takes us to the pirate skeleton, I guess, or pirate floating one. But back then, actually, I wasn't really into the life sizes. They were a little freaky to me, a little kind of, a kid. I mean, not too creepy, but just creepy to the point where I didn't really want to have them. Besides the dancing skeleton, I never found him creepy at all. But I always made it seem the super freaks on. But I think it was the year these ones came out. Um, I think that top hat one. That's when I saw the top hat one. I kind of liked him, but I guess I didn't think anything of him really. I don't remember seeing the butler beside him, the bald one, because that was the one that was made first. But I don't have much of a memory about that time because I didn't pay too much attention to that. But oh, also, I think I forgot to go over one other thing. I forgot to. Some of you might be asking, why did you pick the floating skeleton that started your interest, or how did you know? I didn't really know. I was at Walmart. Looking at the Halloween stuff for a long time. Grandpa was gonna buy me a Halloween item, but I was taking forever. I was just looking. I kept on playing with the stuff. He was getting a little bit impatient. He's just like, just pick one. And so I grabbed this one. I thought it was gonna be similar to the one that goes side to side on the stick that I told you about in the first part. But no, it was a floating one, and it was kind of cool. So that's what happened. I wasn't expecting anything from this. I just grabbed it. So it's a good thing I did, though. I mean, it's pretty cool. So anyways, back to the life sizes. But when I was picking him out, I remember we had two Walmarts at this point. This one back then, we only had one Walmart, and it was in a different part of the area. But by this point, there was two Walmarts. I think one of them never really had a lot of Halloween stuff. But anyways, that doesn't really matter. But I don't remember. This was the point where they had three life sizes at Walmart. It was the pirate skeleton, the life-size monster, brain monster, and then the Edwardian butler, the second one made with the hair. I don't remember seeing the pirate, I don't think. I might have, but I don't really remember. But I remember when I went to the Walmart, I was just gonna look at the Halloween stuff, the floating ghost, to see if they had any new ones, I guess. And well, I saw him, and I was like really excited, because it looked a lot really cool to me. And this was the first floating one with actually a different soundtrack. I don't know if this was the first one made with that screaming and laughing soundtrack. I think it kind of was. It was 2006. It was either this one or one of the Spirit Halloween ones, like the floating skull with red eyes or the purple witch or something. I don't know. It might have been this one, though. Because it was the first one I ever saw with that soundtrack, but who knows. But anyways, I remember when I went to this Walmart, I bought two of these, by the way, that same day. Well, I guess I didn't. Grandma did. But I remember seeing the two life sizes there. It was at first I saw the butler, and then I saw another one with chains on it, which at first I thought it was another version of the butler, but obviously now knowing which ones they had back then, it was obviously the brain monster guy. But I don't remember really trying them out, watching them work, because one thing is they were up very high, probably maybe 8 feet up on the shelf. And it was really hard to see their face, so that's another reason why I couldn't really test them that easily. But I still had no interest in them because they didn't inspire me or anything at that moment, because they were just, I don't know, life sizes. But now, obviously, since time has passed, I really actually want them now. But um, yeah, and those things didn't actually cost that much back then. I don't know. The Brain Monster was probably barely $130 because life sizes back then that were fully animated didn't cost that much. Like Heads Up Harry, he was only $130. And that's actually good quality. It's really well built. It the old animatronics, they would last you a while without breaking like a prop these days or a techie prop. I mean, yeah, they because they didn't move fast and stuff, like they didn't have jumping action. But even the props that still don't do that, they still don't last as long, really. And they're just, I don't know, they're not as animated and cool, I guess, because Brain Monster, it had blinking eyes, turning eyes, moving mouth, the strobing brain and stuff, moving arms. Like, that was really good animation. When a lot of the things now are just kind of posable and they just do one simple thing, and they cost $300 now. That's a big difference. Of course, they are two totally different companies. One is Gemmy, which has been known for a long time, and they've always been known for good stuff. And then Tekky, which they're almost getting as popular as Gemmy, but not always in a good way, because their props are known to fail and break more often because their props are mainly just a bunch of poles, which poles break pretty easily. You snap them with your knees and yeah. It doesn't take much to break those. One punch and then they're broken. Whereas the old Jimmy items, they had a big, huge mechanism inside of them, but they were still supported because they had a big, huge plastic body around all the mechanisms. It made it hard for you to repair them if they broke down, but it's just that you didn't have to worry about them breaking down because they really didn't break at that moment. They lasted you quite a few years before you got problems with them. They're old now, which is why they're failing now, but they're actually still repairable though. So you can actually still bring them back to life, whereas the Techie toys, it's poles. There's not a lot you can do with that. You have to just buy a whole new thing or something. About Jimmy prop, it could be something as simple as, I don't know, a gear or rubber belt breaking, which isn't too hard if you have more of those parts. You can punch the old Jimmy props and they won't break because they're supported by all that body plastic. Of course, still, I'm not saying you should punch them because, yeah, they can still break, but it's just, I'm saying how much more durable and stronger they were built compared to what they have out now. It really did surprise me that day I got the dancing pirate, though, because I actually wasn't expecting that at all. I had no idea. But I really wish I had more of the older ones. They cost a lot now. They're like $600, $800 since, they're really hard to find, but yeah. But I don't know. I do hope I can find the life-size monster, though. I think that one would be really cool. I really want to have that one. I had a couple of chances where I almost was close to getting it in 2009, where they were in that newspaper. $75. Used one Halloween. Now that's probably 100% fully working one, and that wasn't the only prop that came with that $75. You got a bonus prop, Frankenstein's bride. I don't know, I've never seen videos of that one. Its arms were in the same position, bent down, so I don't know if she was animated or static or what, but it's just a mystery. But $75 could have got them, but the problem is we called too late. They were sold the day before. And that's the year where the first year I started buying spirit props, the rising things. If I got those, I wouldn't have gotten those in 2009, but they all kind of broke after a while, the old rising ones. And there was a couple of times on eBay I saw them, like there was one with a guy that opened up its head to try and fix it and something was wrong with it. I was gonna get that one, but I don't know. I think I was really into robots at that point. I still am into robots. You guys are probably wondering, what do you like more, Halloween or robots? Honestly, I like both. The problem is Halloween stuff is big and robots are small. And they do kind of more, and they both break just as much, I think. Because they both use almost the same motors, the same gears. They're pretty similar. But it'd be nice to see props like the way they were a long time ago again. And I'm out of memory again, and I have a lot more